Hello, and welcome to another edition of One Way, where we go one way, heading west. And we start here on a bright new day in the boating. So this is done on a phone, and you'll hear my fingers in that tapping the screen, moving around, scratching, and what have not. So sometimes the microphone/speaker combo gets covered because it's in a bad spot, so the sound may get muffled. And we are definitely far enough that there's math errors, because I took this world and put it on my laptop, experimenting with the ability of trimming out all the past areas we've been to that we no longer need, and it worked. So basically this file, it wasn't big enough to really worry about quite yet, but I did it anyway. This file was nearly 600 megabytes in size. I trimmed it down to under 5, which of course now is quite a bit bigger. So I did successfully knock it down significantly, and after a couple attempts, maintained our progress. So it's kind of a bad day. So I don't know, I don't think we're going to have too many segments, maybe just this before the laundromat. I am not sure of that. And short enough that we'll just swim it. In fact, for the sake of speeding up the process, yeah, you know what? I think even on this phone, in some instances, you can see the math errors. The frame rate on this, even when it's running fairly smoothly, is not enough to notice it. But let's swim by this and see if you can see it. It's just too... It does exist. I know that for a fact. This way you won't see anything. This way you should. Yeah, on the phone you can't see it, but because of the frame rate on it isn't very high. But on my laptop, it's definitely there. I mean, this thing's running at a fairly decent rate. It's just my laptop's capable of hitting a $144 at the least for the frame rate. So it's quite noticeable. Although you can kind of see it jerking around a little bit there. I mean, it's not much. This thing maintains roughly 30 frames per second when it's running smoothly. But yes, it does work. Although the general sputtering is just the game itself. Now, I have not... The 1.17 Caves and Cliffs Part 1 update has come out, but I have not updated it yet, because in this series it doesn't really matter too much. It's not saying that it won't be. Just while I'm here waiting for work to open on a rainy day, setting this up for a quick recording session, it just didn't make sense to spend the time upgrading the game. The Java and Windows 10 versions that I do have, it has been upgraded. I lost the swim. Oh well, we're still moving alright. But I've always been wondering if I'm far enough along where math errors are visible, and the answer is yes, they are. Yes, we're far enough, and yes, hard to see on... Yeah, we can move. Oh, that hasn't changed. So you can't really tell because the frame rate's so low. I don't know if I should keep going or just stay here. This is what we'll do. Is we'll swim out, see if anything pops up immediately. Might double back. Yeah, we're going to double back. There's nothing there. We're going to put the boat down, sleep, and we'll have this much progress. Put the bed there. The boat should be there. Now it's just a matter of this reaching here, so when we can use this to sleep, then we can use that guy to go that way. I mean, the game's running okay, but it's just... Yeah, you know, you can actually see it, in spite of the low frame rate. You can see that it's... Well, maybe, I don't know if video compression will lose it a little bit, but yeah, it is slightly visible, even on the phone, assuming everything is nice and smooth. So this is almost there, so then we can sleep. It's the part I don't like, waiting. Alright, it's almost at the horizon. Alrighty. Boat. Along the z-axis, you won't see too much. Error because we're not all that far off from zero. Try to keep it very close to zero so that keep the file size more manageable, even though I know how to delete it. Plus, we get to where we're going faster, or at least try to get to where we're going faster. And now it's starting to struggle because the phone's getting ever so slightly warm, because it doesn't like to work when it's warm. Never mind hot. Just warm. That's all it takes. It's really hard to get this boat to go straight. It's a little better. Find a little bit of land to walk on. Because I think the person who opens the building is here now. So I know I could swim right by, but I don't trust the way this game works with loading and loading in. Okay, let's turn. And we can move. Alright, building's opening up, so that'll be it. And we're back. Once again, raining, waiting for work to start. Just figuring out where we're at. It might be a false indicator, but it seems that shrinking the world down has helped with the speed. And I found out some interesting facts about when funny things start to happen in Bedrock. Which, you know how sometimes stuff that you can't seem to find something, but then you ultimately find it, and of all places, it's probably one of the very first places you should have looked, or would have been considered fairly obvious. Like, if you forgot where your keys were, perhaps they might be on the dresser or at the front of the door or something. Something like that. Yeah, I could have just went to the Minecraft wiki and found out where all the distortion and weird effects happen when you go far away. And yeah, I found them. More obsidian. Yes. And some armor. We want the obsidian. We want the obsidian. Give us the obsidian. There we go. Actually, that stuff's okay, but still. You know what? We're not hurting for it right now. That will keep, actually. because that'll give us something for the feet. Where are you? There you go. And we'll put the obsidian there so we have an obsidian count. So, I'm finding out that alright, noticeable. We are in range of noticeable. We are in range of noticeable jerky movement when it comes to. We are not moving in the right direction, but that's okay because we're kind of searching for stuff. So I'm waiting for work to begin. I think we got a couple of extra. I have a couple little extra segments where we can. Okay, that's not the correct direction. That is. Yeah, somewhere in the 265 area. Which definitely will be. Yeah, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, we got a bed here. Oh, we get. We can move. So I'm waiting for an appropriate person to open the building. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do when the ground becomes fall through. There's going to be a point that we're not going to be able to move, apparently. We'll have to use horseback, and those don't always come along. I'm not sure if sleeping would be a bad thing. Well, apparently I spoke way too soon about maybe deleting what was behind us, helping to keep the performance running fairly well, because it's slideshowing pretty bad again. So I think we're only... File size is down to like 20 meg or something. I shrunk it down from, as I said in a previous segment, from nearly 600 megs, and we can move the player down to 8. It was actually 5, but then once the world loaded in and found out everything was working okay, it went down to 8. Or up. You know, whichever direction makes things get bigger. I believe that would be up. Alright, we get a free bed because it's getting dark, and this guy likes to whack at things at random. We're not going to do that. We're going to wake you temporarily. You can have the bed to yourself. Alright, any smithies? Because right now, those are the only ones that really matter. Anything that's smithy related, and I don't see any. A lot of cats, and very big hills I don't like to see. So around 265 or somewhere in that neighborhood. Sunflowers and some other blocks start to distort in size. I see an opening. I like how I double tap. It means run. So it's supposed to be a decent day today. It's just the wee hours and probably the first break of the day, it's going to be raining. And it's Saturday, and normally I do my laundry on Friday. I went to the laundromat, and it was filled with people that only cared about themselves. You know, those kind of people that come in with 37 bags and take up every single washer and dryer in the building so you can't do your own stuff. One of them. And we can move the player. We haven't said stop. Yeah, we'll just break this. And we can move the player. Eat the food. Eat the food. Imagine that. I press eat the food, and eat the food happens. Wow, I really don't like the terrain generation, I'm trying to say. You know what? Okay, this way will work too. Whoa. That was bad enough, but it was also good enough. And of course, why must we have a giant ravine where I'm trying to get across the world here? Alright, can we have a place where we can move? Like moving. So it's raining and I'm waiting for work to open. And it looks like it's opening. Alright, I just need to get to a space. There we go. That works. And we'll stop here. Next segment, either another rained out break or the laundromat segment. And we're back. It looks like just this one break is a loss. It's starting to clear up. It's just a bit too dodgy to trust. So the next segment should be the laundromat. And as I was saying, I was looking up I found the statistics as what happens as you go along. We are actually approaching the third iteration of math errors. The first ones, oddly enough, happened just at a mere 16,000 blocks out. 16,384, some number. Anyway, supposedly the jitter is ridiculously tiny but noticeable, but I've never seen it. even on my laptop when I've played worlds that went further out than that. Then we're in the second one, about to leave the second one and going into the third one. Second one is noticeable jitter the further out you go, but with the frame rate of this phone, you can't really see it. So if I go down here and I sneak and I move my finger around so this way, perfectly fine. And we can move. And actually, it is slightly noticeable on the phone, even with the lousy frame rate. But we're about 1,600 blocks or so away. 262, 144 is the next math error set. That's when the sunflowers apparently start to generate incorrectly. Yeah, let's go this way. I know the other way's easier, but we can jump and we can move. And we might go that way anyhow, because that's a mountain. A very cliffy mountain. And we can avoid it going this way. And supposedly those berry bushes and cobwebs are going to appear bigger. All in about, oh, I can't do math. We're very close to the point where it's going to start breaking down. And randomly swing at things. Funny how the one place I didn't look to figure out what happens at what point is the most obvious place to look. That's probably why I never bothered looking. Or I did, but somehow managed to miss it. It is amazing. And yeah, I see the clearance there, but this isn't exactly a huge hill. We can deal with this. And we got bigger, better jump. And make that. Alright, I'm hoping in this break we'll actually make it to 262, 144. I think we will. Especially if we have clear sailing like this. Nice jump. It don't matter. I don't think there'll be any more visible jitter. It's just that actually I found out that tripwires and lecterns, or the bookcase that the librarians work on, those at this point are ever so slightly distorted, and I haven't noticed it. And we got less than 1,000 blocks to go. So I'm going to place a bed, turn, replace it with another bed, and sleep the night. Got 1,000 blocks to go. It should not be a very tall challenge. Especially since I trimmed about 550 megabytes off this world, because everything behind us doesn't really matter anymore. So I figured out how to delete everything behind us, and now the file's about 30 or so megabytes total, if even that. Because as I mentioned before, I keep the render distance, well, the simulation distance at 4, so it only saves that much. Alright, we're okay. I don't know how this is gonna go. Would this be a good thing or a bad thing? Bad, bad, very bad. We can move. I saw the iron, but we need to be moving. So looking for 262144. That's when we hit the next bit in our calculation as to our western position, which I found if we ever actually make it to the far lands, which looks like it's not going to be a thing, even if the phone is running it. And did I see a village? Yes, I did. Another abandoned village. Now, supposedly, ravine. Yeah, we're looking for smithies, and we're not going to be whacking random stuff. Alright, anything smithy? Supposedly lecterns, which we won't see here. Yeah, nothing really to write home about. Anyway, let's try and reposition our 0. Nothing really there. We're not in dire need for food. We're getting very close to the next mathematical error region. At some point, we're going to have to use them people, as I was about to say, the horses. If we can do that. That's going to be hard because there's a point, like 3.8 million or so, where travel by foot is no longer possible. It'd be really cool as if that's right at the border. That we can see the next iteration. And slideshow time. .62 or less than 100 blocks away before the next iteration. Again, we're looking for smithies, which we are not finding, but we will steal a bed or two. Yes, we can. Pop and pop. There we go. Of course, everything's going to be a challenge. Let's just climb. Not exactly looking for miraculous things here. Alright. I think next time we see plains with sunflowers, they're going to be all screwed up. One, 2, 3. And now things get worse. Yeah, it's not going to appear more jerky. It's just going to... We're now in an area where tripwires will no longer be visible. Sunflowers are going to be rendered incorrectly. So for the most part, we're not going to see too much of a difference from here. I'm not as worried about going sideways now, but still I would prefer to try to keep it as straight as possible without too much left and right action so that we can just get to where we're going faster. Oddball terrain right there. We only can see a sunflower. upgraded this game to the 117 yet because just didn't have the time to. But that will be a thing. Not that it's going to matter too much. And it's getting to the point that it's time for the washer-dryer cycle. That is the next time. The weather is definitely getting brighter as I'm going along here. And almost fell in a hole. Not good. Yeah, I saw the big hole that was there. We had to avoid that for sure. And desert. And savannah. We'll go this way because and normalize our Z position, more or less. Alright, so we're now getting well within the failed rendering for sunflowers, and no tripwires. Cobwebs and lecterns will appear larger than they normally do. And it looks like we've met an ocean. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to put the boat over here. Put the bed over here. Put a new bed in hand. I'm surprised that it's really hard to see. Oh yeah, it's definitely visible on the phone now. Yeah, even on the phone now, it's definitely visible. Not that it's possibly any worse. Might be because of the massive trimming I did in the file. Anyway, time to call it a video. When we come back, it'll be a new day. I'm not going to waste more time waiting for the sun to set. We're now at the laundromat phase. We're at the washer cycle. This phone was just used for a botched live stream because if it gets warm, it doesn't like to do any work. And it just happens to be that it was almost time to sleep anyway, so a little extra's not going to hurt there. So next up, it's boat time, even if it's not the longest of distances. So it's nice to know that we have reached the third phase in math inaccuracies in terms of our position. Now sunflowers won't show up properly, as well as spiderwebs and berry bushes will appear slightly larger than normal. So that's what it says. I'm going to cut right through the middle here. If there is a middle. There is no middle. In fact, as much as I like mesa biomes, they really hurt the ability to get far in doing this. Alright, so leave the boat and we can turn. Very narrow space to hit the boat and not board it again. Alright, so I see we can go in between as we struggle to even make a frame rate because this thing is a little warm. Or there's stuff I don't know that's going on. Now, if there are abandoned mine shafts, there should be some cobwebs in them. We're not going to go out of our way, but no, I thought I saw some, but well, this is not favorable land mass here. Well, it looks like no matter which way we go, we're going to have to climb a giant clay mountain. Exactly what I don't want to be doing. I see an opening over there. Yeah, this phone's a little warm. It doesn't like working whenever it's a little bit warm. Never mind hot. I can understand if it's getting too hot that it throttles itself down, that's one thing. But it's just lukewarm now and it doesn't want to work. How much of the cobble do we have? Not a lot. Because we're ultimately going to need some. Turn. I see a mine shaft there, but we're just trying to make progress. Yeah, we're asking you to move. We know that's a lot. There's gravel all over this. We can turn. Does this not like to work? Yeah, I use it for live streaming. Now it doesn't. It surely doesn't want to do anything right now. It didn't want to even live stream either. I'm at the point I just want to stay on top of the mountain, so I don't have to make my way down. Okay, this isn't too bad right here, even though it's more of a blind shot, but we did make it. Move. I like movement. Movement is better. Yeah, I'm pressing the move the player button. Might be something you could try doing. And I'm purposely going underwater because in hopes of rendering less crap. And when the bubbles get a little too much, then we're going to head back up. Keeping an eye on my washer. I'm standing next to another one that's about to finish its run. Okay, that's close enough. Now it's starting to render in the stuff that I was trying to avoid rendering. We can climb. Imagine that. Yeah, we can run. That jump helped. Nice coral. Again, I'm going under the water to try to generate less aboveness, which of course will start showing itself anyway. Hate that I can't go anywhere. Got no choice but to go up a mountain. And there's no good areas either. Alright, can we move this way? No, we can't. Can we move? We're pressing the move the player button. We should be moving the player. Concept. When I press the move the player button, I like it when the player moves. It's kind of a convenience. Alright, so let's get it sort of on the top here. And turn. Ooh, turning. There's a process. When I get to the parts where we can't move regularly anymore, I wonder how I'm going to go about it. Am I thinking this is going to be the one time that this is where we're going to have to stop doing it the way we wanted to, and that's legitimately get there? I don't think you can legitimately get there unless you're really good at this game, and we all know that I'm not really good at this game. I'll make new episodes of Watch Me Suck at Minecraft, but have to have neighbors and a workplace that cooperates and lets me have a life. That would be a great thing. Alright, now we're going in the other direction, into the negatives. A little more than I want, but that's okay. Yeah, it's great to see a mesa biome, or the Badlands as they call them now, but when you're trying to actually get somewhere as fast as humanly possible, or make the attempt, they're not exactly welcome. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter which way we go. Okay, now move. I mean, this is really one of those times I really don't want to see these, because it just kills forward momentum. And of course I jump to maintain most of my forward momentum as I kind of hop swim. If I could turn, which I couldn't because that was mega processing power needed to do that. And I got ice spikes. We need to be more this way now, because we're drifting a little too far to the negatives. And we still are. A little too north. That ain't too bad, but get in the middle, see where we're at. All right, 12 more minutes on my washer, so about 10 minutes of useful time doing this. how it slows down because I'm doing this horrendously complicated task of turning. If anything useful started coming up. Of course, mountains we don't need to see. So 262, 144 was the magic number where we broke the third plane of mathematical inaccuracies. I was surprised at 16,000, whatever, it wasn't just some number like that, 16, I'm trying to think. Oh, anyway, over 16,000 that it actually is supposedly visible. Even on my laptop, I didn't really even notice it at that distance. The only reason I noticed that this world was doing it now is I wanted to see if I could purge the world, because, you know, we don't care about what we've just passed so long as we have our stuff and we keep going forward. So long as the last bit wasn't deleted, we'd be fine. And that's turning into mountains. So we're going to head this way. And that's turning into mountains. No matter where we go. Yeah, we can move. I was pushing the move button. Not let's just stand there and look stupid button. At some point we're going to need saddles, but we got plenty of distance in which we can acquire that. Plenty o' distance. Let's just break some of this. Oh wow, that pretty much wrecks it. I love the touchscreen. It's assuming I want to attack things. The random let's whack it thin air stuff. Truly hate that when you're villagers. Okay, turn. This is the third time I turned. We didn't make that. Oh well. Not a big thing. Smack. Anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to stop here and turn. Now we're going to plop this down. Yep, we're hitting the X. That means X. Concept. Okay, we broke it. Now it just needs to, yep, we need to grab, need to replace. And sleep. It's funny how when I hit sleep, it's running smooth as silk. But then as soon as I do anything, okay, gonna climb. It's difficult. Ooh, you jumped. Too bad it didn't work. Can't blame the game for that one. We made it into the water in spite of the jump not happening. And we can climb. Go as I planned. I was hoping that I would have been picking that up. Not sure if I did or didn't. I don't think I did. Didn't quite check to see what my number was before then. Okay, we can turn. And we can run. There you go, running. Running is fun. Makes the job go faster. What also makes it go faster is I'm looking at the timer and not where I'm going, and suddenly we're in trees. Of course, now it's mountains, because why? Why not? You know? Alright, so what I'm going to do is check where the sun is. Okay, it's not that far. If we can just find a sweet spot. All right, can we move? This is a one block gap. We can move. This is a one block gap. You can move. All right, I'm gonna stop right here, and dryer phase is next. All right, into the dryer everything goes. Everything renders for a moment, and then for the next 30 seconds, it'll run semi-jerky, then it turns into a slideshow again, because that's how it works. I want to check something. Probably hit the right button, that might help. We got can move the player. That's a star. I would love to see some sunflowers. Alrighty. That's one thing I hate to see is people that come into the laundromat and take up a crap load of dryers, which most laundromats have very few of relative to washers. And they didn't wash their clothes here, but they come here and dry stuff, and that leaves no dryers for those of us legitimately patronizing the business. That irritates the crap out of me. I can see some people saying, it's business, you're making money, but you're also putting off your customers who are legitimately here trying to use the full service. Fortunately, I was here a half hour earlier, because I probably wouldn't have a dryer at this point. And we're climbing a mountain. How we love those, especially when we're doing it in slideshow mode. Yeesh. There's no safe way down. Ouch. And the sun is about to set yet again. That was a bad jump. Anyway. And we can break the block. I like breaking the block when I press break the block. We kind of need to get more dirt blocks anyway. So we had to get through that. Come on. I like progress. I wonder if there's a part where I can progress. Yeah, that's good English, but you get the idea. Anyway. Alright, so oh, we didn't put a bed in hand. We need to kind of do that. And we can move, and we can move, and we can move. I'm repeating because you're not doing your job. And now we turn. Put another bed in hand. That's not bed, that is iron. and sleep. All right. That gives us a microsecond to load something in. And the inability to move is going to help a little bit. I like to be moving now. That would be a good idea. Let's try movement. Let's try movement. You can run at a 1/4 mile an hour. Nothing's stopping you from running at a 1/4 mile an hour. I'm pressing the button. We should be moving when we press the button. Not a complicated process. And not what I want to do. There we go. I'd like there to be an exit to this horrible biome. And we can move. And we can move. Oh, wow. This is not good. And we're randomly jumping. That really doesn't help. Well, for all that height, and that's all the damage we took, that's pretty good. Pitch up because it doesn't like climbing. Oh, we asked to turn. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of processing. We are surrounded, so no point in boating. Now I would like you to run when we push run. There we go. We go faster when we do that. Of course, I always seem to wind up on the wrong part of the cycle where you have to bob a full bob, shall we say, to get up on land. And we can... I would like to see some sunflowers, because we're supposedly far enough that they generate wrong at this point. And no jump, but we maintained the speed. That's the important part. Uh-oh. There must be something to process. You know, you haven't seen a village in a while.
So this was the one that didn't. What? Feels wet? Yeah.
I guess maybe it is one.
Oh my god. Maybe just look more important because it's
Ready?
So I think like the dryer should take like 2.
Well, I would spread it out. The more you spread it out, the better. Just whoever you want.
These 3 right here should be fine.
Turn. Yeah, there's people trying to figure out how to use the system. Village. Turn. And
There's a couple over here. You don't have to punch it over there.
Alright.
oh, there's cobwebs. They're supposed to appear bigger now. Ruined portal, but no diamond pickaxe, so. Alright, we can turn. Yeah, it's buried. But we can move. Yeah, if they're slightly bigger, it's just that.
Oh, hell no.
What? What?
It's 25 minutes. 25 cents per 7 minutes.
What?
Yeah, I need at least 1 minute. It's like 75. Those are your 2, right? And these 2 right here?
Yeah.
Looks like about 75 cents. Not that bad though. 21 minutes should be.
No smithies.
Hold on. I'm gonna move it.
Yeah, come bring those over here. You got that. You got that.
Yeah, we can eat the food now.
That's last year.
No, there's more in there.
Wow, the sun's setting. We gotta turn and put the bed down. We can turn. We can place. We can sleep. See if we can make any progress. Okay, all the dryers are used. Now one person, the people that just were in here are legitimate users of this laundromat. They paid to wash stuff, and there's only 9 of the 10 dryers that, no, 8 of them only work, and all of them are in use now. It's because somebody decided to use 2 of them when they didn't wash here. I'm telling you, a half hour later, I would have been stuck again. If I get this out in a timely manner, you wouldn't even notice that this is a day late. So I usually do my wash on Friday afternoons, so it's over and done with right after work. But as I said, somebody was hogging the... kind of like how somebody did now. The only good thing about these oceans is further progress. Although I found out that depending which way you go depends on which far lands you get. And lucky us, west is boring ocean. So if we were to ever hit that point, okay, we can turn, we can move. Absolutely nothing there. Let me just drop that down there. Somehow that's 18 of them. I wish there was some obsidian. That would have been nice. Can grab, we're pressing the button, place, and that should, we're pressing the button, that should be over. Actually, that shouldn't be there at all. It takes me a moment to realize which way is what here. Okay, wrong way. So the next mathematical error is quite a ways off. I think it's in the 512K range. Alright, is anything gonna come up? Some of these motorcyclists need somebody to pull out in front of them. The second one that went by was riding responsibly. The other one was so fast, anyone who pulls out in front of him at a reasonable distance, he'd be in trouble. Attempting to turn the boat, because that's a process. Not landlocked quite yet. Yeah, there's no escaping this, so... Yeah, still suffering from the allergies a little bit. They don't seem to look any different. Then again, they said slightly larger. And if I had a side-by-side of what they look like normally and what they do in past 262, 144, then maybe I might see it. Anyway, up the hill, because smooth progress, not a thing. over there. And we place, that's right, we place the bed, then we sleep in it. Now we hit the menu button. We'll grab a yellow one. We need a village. Let's see how many sheep we have. We can hit the button. We don't have anything. When we hit the X, that means we X. Okay, where are you? I was gonna say, how about eating? Oh wait, you were actually doing something. Alright, now move. Okay, we can make one bed if we need to. How much wood do we have? Not a lot. Oh, that actually went pretty well. Yeah, it's a project to get to those sheep. No, it's gone. It's too much of a struggle. We can turn. We can jump. Yeah, of course that had to happen. And we can turn. project. Every time I do the jump, it won't work. Challenge. Now I just wish we had terrain that would let us move. Seems to be this way. Okay, now we want to move the player. Drop. Alright, this is complicated, so we're just gonna stop here. We're gonna turn. Complicated task, turning. Place a bed. Place this. Press. Then we're going to take these beds and place them over here. This one over here, because we already placed one. Put that up there. That's better. Alrighty, let's see what we can do now. We're 10,000 blocks past where the new destruction of normalcy occurs. I couldn't see a real difference in the cobwebs there. I haven't seen any yeah. Oh, this is where we stop. Where does it go? Is there a way by? Well, we got I don't know how long it's going to last, but we got the birch forest, which is a lot better than the dark oak forest, as it doesn't get dark enough for bad things to happen. Oh, we were running. We were running again. There we go. To be moving. No. Well, we're gonna have to take a little hit here. Of course, we had to climb the block I didn't want to climb. And we wound up in another one anyway, but it had walls that were only, you know, ocean deep, so that was good. Okay, what we need to do is turn, drop, drop. We don't need those. The other one would be a bit of a project to get to, especially since turning and moving is a very complicated task at this point. Turn, that was a process. Whoa. food. Alright, let's try to get to an end spot. Alright, so yeah. We'll just end it here because it's just getting bogged down a lot. 273,463. That'll be good enough. This thing is too warm to keep going. It's just slide showing really bad. So that's this edition of One Way. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.